Do. I am live. Oh, and there's my co-host, just in time. Sorry, guys. Of course, I'm running late again, right?
That's all right. We're often running late.
I was just throwing dinner into the oven. Oh, and hang on, I've got an echo. Let me get rid of that. I've got it going on 2 screens. So. Anyway, how are you tonight? Angie is here from Life and More Reloaded.
Oh, cool!
Oh, perfect.
No, things are good, I think.
Yeah, and is that Bobby Jean or Michael? MB Heritage Farms. Hi, guys.
Hey, guys.
We are talking gardening tonight.
Yes.
Well, we kind of figured that sort of theme. That sort of theme is important. Is big right now. Everybody wants to start thinking about it.
Yeah,
coming up on gardening season.
Yeah. Although I guess I would say out this way, it's not quite feeling like gardening season yet.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's why I didn't want you guys to get all jealous of my beautiful day outside.
We've had beautiful sun, but it's still -20.
Oh.
Yeah.
Although saying that out west, I don't know if it's. I know Chris is in Alberta. I don't know if they're as cold as out west in Manitoba and that. I think they're Western Ontario and Manitoba and that right now are sitting in the -48. Ugh.
Okay. Ugh. We are supposed to hit like -5 or -6.
Oh, so you got a cold snap coming.
Yeah. Tomorrow. I think it's supposed to hit tomorrow and be here for like 2 days, and we might even hit -10.
Oh boy.
That's always that benchmark. When you below -10, it always feels pretty cold.
Yeah. Oh, Chris says he's -29 right now, so he's in the cold snap too. Then
pretty cold.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we were whining about -28 last week. I think we had it for about 4 days in a row, -28, -29,
something like that.
And it felt like it was. It felt bad.
Yeah, that is never good, right?
Couldn't get the truck to start.
Yeah, truck didn't want to start, nothing. And it was like,
oh no.
You never plug in something out here. Well, you'd be the same thing. I mean, the idea of plugging your car in is nah.
Yeah, I wouldn't around here, but I would have thought you would out there.
Well, we never have before, but it didn't. It's an old beast. It didn't want to start, so we had to wait until it warmed back up, and then it decided it was going to go.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm still getting things organized here so I can actually look at the same camera that I'm talking to. It was weird just talking to myself, right? Like, that's just creepy. I want to move where I can see everything and see everything all at once and look at the camera. Like, holy cow.
Yeah, there you go.
Like a whole new world.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Boys with multiple screens.
Oh, there's definitely so much to learn with this stuff.
Well, I mean, part of the reason I have multiple screens is my work, right? Because I do a lot of design stuff where I want to have something over here and something over, it just makes it easier if I can spread it out and be able to look at multiple things at a time. Sometimes I'm transposing from one to another and can't copy and paste or whatever.
Oh goodness.
Always something, right?
It is. But
good to see both of you too. MB Heritage.
It is. We've had a good little kind of bunch of videos come out from people that have been doing the Seed Challenge, so that's been kind of good for this week.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, I have missed them all.
Yeah, the was it Garden Obsessed and the Seed Sown? No, I'm gonna get it all wrong.
We don't have it open.
I should have left it open. Anyways, I added it to the playlist. I can't think. Oh,
Think
I
we're
feel
up to-
bad now.
It'll come to you.
It'll come to me halfway
It's
through.
there.
I'll shout it out.
It's there.
It'll come to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't got our stuff sent out yet, but we're getting close.
Yeah. We're getting
We've got it
organized.
mostly organized. We had to go buy a stapler.
Oh yeah.
So
I've got mine all packaged, but
Yeah.
that's as far as I've gotten. It was packaged and it's addressed and it's ready to go. Dave, I was waiting on Dave. He had to put something together that he was going to be sending out. So
Okay.
I will probably go in the mail tomorrow.
That's
Well,
what
that's
we're
good.
kind of hoping tomorrow or the next day, get it into the mail.
yeah.
We were giving everybody a chance to kind of, if they wanted anything, to say something, and then we would pop it into the envelope and away we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I sent emails off to all my people and talked to most of them. The one
Yeah.
I didn't hear from is the one that lives up in the Northwest Territories, Carla. Is that her
Yeah.
name? So I just sent her either fast growing stuff or determinate stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we
Okay.
kind of thought. I don't
Variety.
know if we've noticed that sometimes her replies are a long time to come back. So I wondered if maybe they don't have the best internet. I don't know the whole.
Yeah.
That
Sure.
could be.
Yeah.
Imagine that in the Northwest Territories.
Yeah. And I imagine it's pretty frigid up there right now.
I would
Yeah,
think so.
probably.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not
But
there.
yeah. So yeah, but she had sent that thing before saying, quick short season stuff or the determinants. So I think that'll be fine.
Yeah, so that's what I did there. I even sent her some radishes that are like 30 days. So
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's good.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're,
well, I
they're a
think-
super quick turnaround.
Yeah, I think she was somebody that hadn't saved seeds before. So
Okay.
that's kind of nice because probably wanting to try different things too. So it'll work well.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if she does post some videos.
Well, she didn't have a channel.
Not yet, but she was talking about
Well, she was
it,
talking
so.
about starting a channel if she could get it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That would be good.
Well, it'd be nice to kind of keep everybody doing it and keep getting a few more videos here and there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'll have to tag mine because I will be videoing it tomorrow when I'm taking the mailbox.
Yeah, we did a little bit of videoing of us and the kids packing up the seeds. So we said we just got to finish labeling and seal it up, and then we can do a video. We end of the video, and off we go.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd already gotten one in the mail. Somebody, I think they were really close to us though.
Nice.
You filed it. Filed it on the shelf.
Hadn't opened it yet.
We were
but-
thinking we're gonna wait, and when they're all here, we'll open them all together.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and do like a video of opening everything all together, probably rather than one at a time. I don't know. We haven't figured that part out yet. Depends on how long it takes for them all to get here because the anticipation, It'd be it's like trying to wait to plant stuff.
Well, 10 years old is pretty good for seeds. That's one thing that's nice about lettuce because we're actually thinking, but we usually grow 2 kinds of lettuce, and we've added 2 more this year. And we're thinking about maybe 1 more just for diversity because eating diversity, I guess.
Yeah,
but
be able to make more like a salad mix.
Yeah. But hello, flavors and textures.
Hello, hello. Thank you for joining us.
We just watched her. I spend all day watching while he works, but I just watched her planting her sweet potatoes.
Okay.
So I hope that goes well.
I just found out that sweet potatoes are really good for cats if you're going to make your own cat food.
Really?
I can see that. We found out they like eating the leaves off
They
the
love
vines.
to eat the green vines. We had to put everything up higher.
Interesting. Well, I'll have to. I'm not growing any because I don't much like sweet peas or sweet potatoes. I like sweet potato pie, but so it's the only way I like it. And
and with that, if you're only eating it every now and then, it's probably easier to buy them.
Yeah, true enough. True enough.
But yeah, it's a fun thing. But yeah, Flavors and Textures was using a different method to us, so I'm curious to see how it works for. She planted them. You didn't watch, but she planted them right into the soil to start sprouting their slips.
We tried that once, but that was at our old place, and it wasn't, I don't think, warm enough to actually do anything. They just kind of rotted on us.
Yeah,
with the heat, they might do it here. We should try one.
That's what I said in my comment. I said that we should try that method.
Yeah,
see how it does, because we have nothing to compare to. We just set them in a jar of water and they sprout. But it'd be interesting to see if they sprout better one way or the other.
Yeah.
Hi, Joe and Sue.
Hi, Joe and Sue. How's it going?
As we're all staring.
Anticipation.
Waiting for the cat to move. Come on, people, talk.
Like, we're never done sweet potato.
The slips are basically like parts of the vine. Actually, I can show you. Maybe.
They're all tangled up.
Going to, but yeah.
I don't know if you can see that well. Those are slips, so that's a bad example. Basically, all it is you put them in the water and you can see the roots coming. They're just little cuttings, basically, and you can divide these like a lot.
Yeah, like you can keep cutting pieces off of the slips as they grow greens over the spring, and you just keep sticking them in the water and they root, and then you plant that in dirt to get it started.
Basically, I don't know how well this will show up, but where the leaf is, that's where the new roots will come out. So as long as that's in the water, you can see them maybe up here.
Wow.
Anyways, there's little bumps there that can become the roots, so you can take quite small little chunks. And
this one here's got lots growing from that
that's
section.
the one.
There's the one that shows really well.
It's got,
now he's like, I'll drip on my computer. But you can see them coming out from
the leaf stalk. So.
Sure. So is that off your existing plants, or did you buy those like that?
No, that's off of we had the sweet potatoes that started sprouting in the cupboard.
Which we grew them too.
We grew them. They're 2019 sweet potatoes, and we just stuck them in a jar of water with the sticks in them so that they were kind of floating in the water. And then the vines are growing out of them. Yeah. Good luck getting one of those down. There's so many. We have so many sweet potatoes now. It's not even funny. And we're so early. We said our whole new grow room is going to be full of sweet potatoes because we have so many.
Well, they're pretty big. Don't they take up a lot of room?
Once they get going, yes. But then you can prune them back. Like our thoughts are, once we get them established, we're going to probably keep pruning off the greens because you can eat it. You can like stir fry it like spinach.
How do they do in the shade?
They like the sun.
They like sun. They like full sun. Yeah.
I have a shady spot that I might want to do something with, but I do want to do something with, but.
So there is the
roots growing in the jar.
Oh wow.
This one's completely filled.
This one needs to have them taken off. We've just been lazy.
We've already taken one round off, but when you cut them off, they just respread again. So they're not too bad.
Okay.
But yeah, that's basically what will happen if you put it in the water and set it near a heat source.
Interesting.
Yeah. And each one of those you can then cut pieces off and stick in the water, and they become a slip, which then you're going to plant into your raised bed, or if you do it in the ground. We do ours in the black Rubbermaid totes.
Okay.
That's pretty well.
Yeah, but yeah, needless to say, we've already, I think, probably got 100 sweet potato slips.
Oh my God.
And it's only just the beginning of February, so yeah. But oh well, it'll keep. Well, and you've just said it's like we could maybe mix that into cat stuff.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Yeah,
they eat the greens well enough.
Homemade cat food yesterday, recipes, and one of the things that kept popping up for vegetable wise was, either sweet potato or carrot. That was the only vegetables they recommended.
Well, that's kind of interesting because we make our own raw cat food, and we're always, I know it sounds bad to say, right now they're on pure meat, but now that we have 9 cats, that's a lot of meat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it would be kind of nice to bulk it out a little bit with something.
Yeah. Well, apparently sweet potato is
a good one.
Good for cats.
All right,
we'll have to do that.
We'll try it. We'll see. We'll save some pure meat and some mixed with sweet potato and see. We'll do a
puree it together.
Yeah, exactly.
So you'll have to let me know how it goes because I may actually have to grow sweet potatoes next year for the cats.
Yeah, exactly. So
they produce quite a bit for cats. It'd probably work because you could grind up.
Oh yeah.
You get a lot of roots that don't get quite big enough to be a tuber, but you could probably still cook them for that and grind them up too.
Right.
So we're going to definitely have to try that this year.
I see. Life of More Reloaded there is asking about that. Is the soil are they soil picky about their soil? The sweet potato. I'm assuming she's meaning the sweet potatoes.
I don't find them super picky. Because we put a fair bit of organic in the totes, though, right?
Yeah, we put a lot of organic matter, but I don't know if they would be. I mean, we're pretty sandy here. I don't know what red dirt would be. Would that be clay? Oh, okay. Yeah, California clay. I don't know. They probably, especially we do ours in the totes instead of right in the ground, which kind of controls the moisture a little bit more. So you might be able to just put dirt in a.
That's something I have to look into because we've always done it sort of amended in the totes.
Yeah,
because of our season being shorter.
That's we do add the sand a lot.
We can do it in the ground, but usually a lot of people here, if they do it in the ground, they cover them with plastic and stuff to just keep them warm. They like the heat a lot.
Right. Hi, Gail.
Hello, Gail.
But I would say with the clay soil, the sweet potatoes, probably you would have to
add something.
You'd have to probably add sand or something because the one thing we found with the sweet potatoes is they like to be able to grow deep. Mm-hmm. So I imagine the more clay your soil, the harder it would be for them to do that.
Yeah, because it'd be the thing with the clay. If they do go down, I imagine they'd be harder to get out. Because you can't just pull them.
Right. Yeah, clay stuck in and dry onto everything, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the buckets are definitely worth trying. Like, how big are ours?
The totes? They're 18 inches deep.
Yeah.
And then they're, I believe, 20 by 28, the big ones.
I think
they're about that size. They're pretty heavy once they're full.
But they end up by the end of the season, like we usually put six slips in one of those.
Yeah, 6 or 8.
And that's even 8's pushing it because sometimes they grow.
Well, and that was one thing we learned this last year. We grew them in 12-inch deep pots, and they didn't do well this year. Mm-hmm. And we have a feeling it was because they were too crammed. There was just nowhere for them to grow because they do that silly thing where they grow like this little from the plant. They grow like this little skinny root first, and then they bulb out. So like you lose 3 or 4 inches to this little root before they become like the bulbous root. I don't. There's probably a technical term for this that I don't know.
I think that depends on variety too, though.
Yeah,
they all
that's
grow
true.
A little different.
Do you mound sweet potatoes like you do regular potatoes?
We don't.
We don't.
Our season's not long enough. Like where they'll root at the leaf. If you've got a really long season, they'll just keep rooting and creating more tubers. But we're not long enough for that, which is why the slips work because you're kind of speeding it up a bit. Mm-hmm. But the plant wouldn't have a problem with it, I don't think. Yeah. But I don't know I don't think for us, I don't think we would get more.
Yeah, see, Flavor and Textures did that. Yeah, I think that's what we're hoping this year. The 18-inch deep does better because all of them went really short and fat and kind of split and things like that on some of them.
That was the water, though, because...
That was, yeah.
Yeah, they need kind of like a constant amount of water. They got too much water towards the end and split because we had 2 months of really no rain and then
it was a lot of rain.
Yeah.
And then they split.
Learning curves, that's all.
Yeah. But otherwise, like once you get them going, they're super easy, and they're super easy to keep going every year once you've got tubers.
Do they come back every year?
No, but if you bring the tubers inside, you can eat like one tuber will produce you so many. You can,
yeah. You just have to have a good spot that you can store them. Same idea as potatoes, really. I mean, you're going to keep them until the next season.
They usually like to be stored a bit warmer though than potatoes.
Yeah.
So the potatoes we store in the basement, and the sweet potatoes. Well, we store some of the ones we're eating in the basement, but the seed ones we usually store in the kitchen in the cupboard.
Hence why we found the ones from 2 years ago at the back of the cupboard.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oddly enough, if we had done that with potatoes, you would have noticed the smell.
Well, they would have done that.
But these were still, you could have eaten them.
Nice.
Yeah, it was crazy. So definitely something to try. We don't use a lot of sweet potatoes, but we're excited to kind of try different recipes.
And that's something we want to try too. Now that we've got some space to do it, is just growing them as a house plant.
Yeah,
and eating some of the leaves, because as you can prune them back and they'll just keep
We've done them like the.
Can you eat the leaves raw, or do you have to cook them?
I'm pretty sure you can eat them raw.
You can do both. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we've done them like just eating off the vine to try, and they were quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
They're strong tasting, I find, but we have done them sautéed up, like, because we didn't have enough to make a meal, so we just mixed them in with kind of a stir fry, and sort of like, I don't know if you've ever done the lamb's quarters or anything like that, but basically the same idea. It kind of has its own weird taste, but when you mix it in with something, it works really nice.
Yeah. Right.
I'll definitely give it a try there, because you'll know pretty quick. The big thing is just to have them somewhere warm. Like
to get them to sprout. Yeah.
For us, these are right behind the one chimney from our wood stove. And what was it? It was like 3 days after planting them, they just like sprouted like crazy. But
they were ready.
Yeah.
Oh, she has them in an omelet. That's a smart idea.
Good.
Well, they say to use the sweet potato greens very much like you would spinach. So that makes sense. Yeah.
For sure. That would be a good house plant to have if you could keep it growing. Put it in a nice big pot and
oh yeah,
greens off it all winter. Yeah, all winter long, right? Have nice potatoes when you want them.
Well, I don't. Would they blossom in the house? Probably not. Their blossoms are really pretty.
Are they?
Yeah, they're like a purple center with a white around the edge.
Oh, pretty.
Yeah, but
they're little, but they're quite pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're definitely worth giving a shot. We're going to try, and we're going to do a bit more eating of the greens since we have so many right now.
Yeah. I figure if I'm going to start growing this stuff, I'll have to start eating it.
Well, that's the worst bit, right? That's the worst bit. I mean, or you get growing so many different things with the intention of doing something with them, and then it just doesn't quite pan out.
Yeah.
It's very much looks like a morning glory. Exactly.
Yeah, they look pretty much.
Morning glories look pretty, but I don't like to plant them around here.
No. Well, that's what's kind of nice. The sweet potato vine can go crazy like a morning glory, but you're going to either eat it or you're going to take it all out. So
they won't survive.
Yeah.
The one thing, if you do grow them up in anywhere where you get frost, if you got them in a pot, you don't want them to get frosted.
Yeah.
Because it basically it kills off the green, but then unlike potatoes and stuff, it kind of continues down the plant to the tuber, so it can actually make your tubers store a lot less time-wise.
Okay. So you want to harvest them then if you're going to get too much frost,
or cover them. Make sure
you got them well covered.
Yeah. Okay.
Because once they get damaged, your shelf life on them goes to
down
nothing.
quite a bit. Yeah, not a problem in the south, but something to think about.
For us, I didn't think about it. But yeah, there's kind of just as we're going through all the seeds for the exchange, it's been kind of exciting doing our planning, and we're going to make a few changes on some of the things we grow this year. So that's kind of interesting. And then going through the whole, like, maybe we should plan out a garden and get an idea what we're doing. You don't want to do it too early because then you got to wait, but at the same time you want to.
I should show you my garden plan.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec. I'll pop it open.
Yeah. Well, it's always
Hello, John.
Hi, John. It's one of the first years we said we might actually make a plan.
We've done it before, but we tend to not stick to it.
We don't stick to the plan very well because we get way too much started, and then you don't have the spot ready for it, so you got to put it somewhere else, and then everything gets bumped.
Right. Well, mine is my raised beds, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
We tried having totes, but our HOA wasn't having any of that. Hey, John, how's it going? So let me now share my screen. Share that one. I'm just going to take over the whole thing for a second here.
Yeah, no, that works.
And yeah, so
getting close.
oh, here, let me do this with it. So I've got spring, summer, fall, and I've got it all. I've got it color coded.
And were you doing the square foot gardening?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that I watched one of your videos. You talked about that, or
I'm going to try it anyway. I've never really tried it before, but with such a small room, it seems to be the recommended way to go. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely maximize your area.
Yeah. So
well, it's nice too because you can kind of do that succession planning like you've got going.
Yeah.
Doing it that way.
Yeah, and stuff that I've moved into here, I know like these are going to take onions, I guess, or take forever.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that, but apparently they do. Apparently they take like 100 days for storage onions. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, this has been kind of the great exercise, at least for me. Chris, I've always gardened, but Chris is kind of the brains of the outfit. In the sense that he knows he can, he's one of those, he looks at something and he can remember what the packet says years down the road. I can't.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And so this has been a very interesting thing doing the seed challenge because we're going through all our seeds and I'm learning because when I'm mailing them to people, I want to write like how many days to maturity and all this sort of stuff. And now I'm going through that going, oh, wow, like this puts it into different perspective when I'm planning things. Because it's like, oh, I didn't realize.
Have a name on them when they come from me.
Well, we just kind of, it was like, I've never actually looked. I've never even really,
we haven't gone back and looked on some things. It's like the Scotia tomatoes. We've grown them for so many years.
We just grow them.
You just know they come first. And they're really productive, and you don't want to start them too far ahead of time, kind of thing. But
it's neat going through and to gather that information for people that might not have it because it's just become habit for us. I don't know the specifics, even though it's something that we should know everything about because we've grown it for so long.
Yeah,
so it's kind of interesting for that.
All right, Angie, take care. I'll see you later. Yeah, that usually happens to me too, but I've never really made a garden plan because this is only the second year I've had a garden. So
well, that's the perfect time to plan then because you experimented last year. Now you're
I learned a lot last year.
Yeah.
So.
Oh well, that's good though. And then we're gonna hit you with all these new seeds to try and it'll screw your plan all up again.
Well, I have room in my plan. I left room for whatever might come in.
Yeah,
that's good. And I haven't completely planned summer yet. I still have blank spots and fall is a complete blank at this point. So
fall's always kind of tough.
Oh, we're bad with fall. We kind of you have the best of intentions, and then summer gets busy, and then I get to that point where I've chucked so much in the freezer because I haven't had time to do something with it. And then I'm just like, I don't really want to plant anymore.
This year we will.
This year we will because, the greenhouse and shed wars.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, you'll have to, right?
Must keep producing.
Apparently I can plant things and harvest mostly year round unless it's buried in snow. Like I still have that. I think it's winter celery or maybe it must be winter celery because it's still green and I could go and pluck it right now and eat it.
There's a lot of herbs and vegetables that are like it's like all the cabbages and stuff. You could probably grow that stuff cabbages and broccoli and all, they'd probably do quite well. You'd have to cover them for the next couple of days, but that doesn't usually seem to bother them too much.
You'd be great with just some row covers over top of your raised bed. You'd probably get a whole extra couple months.
Yeah. I might have to have Honey make something for me.
There you go.
At least for over the one long bed that's not enclosed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The enclosed
ones, it might be tough to put a cover on them, but
yeah. Well, he could come up with some sort of shutters. Clear shutters. There we go.
Oh boy, this is getting fancy.
And then we do have some of that greenhouse plastic.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
the corrugated one.
Yeah. It's like the really thick stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd work.
We are the same way. Flavors and textures, definitely. With the things just get going, and you move something to plant something else, and then the whole plan just goes like,
We've spent past years coming up with elaborate plans of where everything's going to go, and then you go find a bunch of berry bushes or something on sale, and it's like, oh well, we weren't planning on that, and now that's all out the window.
Yeah,
gotta find somewhere to put it.
I saw that Joe and Sue's off grid that said they mailed their seeds out last week. Whoops, where is it? We got ours.
Yeah.
We're waiting. We're gonna wait for all of them to come and then do a grand opening. That's what unless it takes too long for others to arrive, then we'll just go for it.
Or we could cheat. We could open it up and reseal it.
There we are. Yeah, a lot of people do that when they do their mail things. They've already opened them, so
that'll work.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Catch up here. She tries every year, but not so successful at following the plan.
The other thing is we usually come up with a plan and say we're not going to do X, Y,
yeah,
and
that's
Z
what usually our plan is. We're not going to do
much on the table, and then we end up doing it anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be hard to say because I've never tried planning before. It's always been just, but like last year, I didn't really even know that you have to put different things in at different times of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Being from Alberta, you basically plant everything at the same time and harvest everything at the same time.
Yeah, because you got a shorter
time to be able to do it.
I'd ever seen because I never gardened, right? So my stepmother gardened, and that was how she did it. She just planted everything, and
even here, like I see historically, but even here historically, it was that way. And now we're getting a bit longer seasons, and then you're trying to adapt with that because, which makes it interesting.
Well, and sometimes you push it to the limits, and then it, something happens. Frost comes, or snow in May, or something silly, and you're just like,
Well, that's the worst when you're putting little seedling starts and stuff out, and something always happens.
Yeah. But yeah, we're resisting the urge to try starting stuff too early this year. That's where we went wrong last year. We started so early, and then you had that wait, and the plants just got so big before we could put them out, which wasn't a problem because they still produced, but we're trying to resist this year. Just 2 more weeks. I'm
gonna run out of room soon. I'm pretty sure of it. I've moved. I've had to rearrange the living room now because I've put a stand in front of it because we have beautiful southern exposure, and that window gets sun from 6 in the morning until whenever in the afternoon. So I'm going to utilize it, and I put some bigger stuff there that I'm hoping the cats stay out of because it is definitely in their zone. So
you need to be sitting just out of their zone with a little squirt bottle.
Yeah. Well, I put some dehydrated lemon in there, and apparently they don't like citrus.
Okay, that's good to know.
I didn't know that for today.
Well, you keep us posted on if it works and how long it works for.
I'll let you know for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You get
I hear
everything
you.
sorted.
Yeah,
That's one of the ones I transplanted yesterday and moved to in front of the window. Was getting too tall for everywhere.
exactly.
I think we're gonna start by the
Yeah.
end of the week. Hopefully, we'll get our peppers started because they usually take a little
Yeah.
time, but that's the plan. And then slowly go from there.
Yeah. Well, I found last year that my tomatoes, all of my late tomatoes that I planted got late blight and
Mm.
no good. Those were the ones that I planted in July, and so I
Mhm.
want to have tomatoes ready to plant early this year.
Yeah, we've never done late tomatoes. Ours are always started early, and then we just grow lots of them and can't like freeze them or can them.
I don't know if we'd have a.
I didn't have any seeds last year, any tomato seeds. So I did manage to get 3 tomato plants from one of the local nurseries that was delivering, but I didn't get any tomato seeds until, July or something. And so then I tried throwing them in, but I got blight in all of them. So
Yeah,
it was not fun. I was so
well,
sad.
we find it hard here because, well, right when you would have been putting them in, so that's the time where it is always so dry here, and trying to keep them watered, we always get like the blossom end rot and stuff like that just from it's so dry, and you're trying, you get to that point where you're like, I can only water it so much. We're not that you're conserving crazily, but you don't want to run your well dry trying to keep these things going.
We're going to improve our water collection.
Yes, we need to work on water collection.
On the agenda.
Yeah.
The list never ends.
Hey, micro farmer.
Hey, Homer, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. He's another one who knows gardening in small spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a lot of good information you can, no matter what size of garden space you have, there's always useful information from people who do it in a small space because you can apply it even to a bigger area.
Well, that's like us. I mean, even though we've got the 38 acres, most of it's allocated to the livestock. We're still trying to garden in a very small space.
Relatively speaking.
I mean, well, our tilled garden's 1/8 of an acre, so that's still pretty big, but it is kind of one of those things you're trying to cram a lot in there.
Mm-hmm. Layering.
No, in mid-May, that's not fun.
The heavy frost, June 8th.
June 8th, yeah, that's pretty late into the growing season.
So where's that compared to us?
No.
We're trying to pinpoint how far they are from us.
We'll look it up.
Joe and Sue.
Yeah.
Hey, Bettina.
You're doing a fine job there.
But yeah, the chance of the late frosts and stuff is what can really kind of do you in. We always have blankets and everything out there, even in the springtime, ready to be chucked on.
Yeah, we've got quite a couple boxes full of old blankets and sheets and stuff that we've got on hand just in case.
And we use. I've saved all my old horse winter blankets, and they're the ones for we throw over the sweet potatoes and the things that could really get damaged by frost. Yeah, they get all the big winter horse blankets, so thicker. They're all the quilted ones. So I kind of don't get rid of anything.
That's a good idea of having the pond. We've got one, but ours kind of didn't go dry last year, but it really went down.
Yeah, it went. It's usually at the 12-foot mark, and last year we were down under 5 feet, so that's a big difference. Yeah, and it hasn't come that's just showing how much we don't have moisture this year, because last winter it was back up at the 12-foot mark before it froze, and this year it's not.
But we've got a lot of snow now. So.
But we do have a lot of snow now. Although I still don't think there's much snow as last year.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. But anyways.
It can go anytime, though. I'm ready.
Ready for gardening.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
We have none.
the teaser of
Yeah,
out the window.
famous last words. You watch this week in your -10. It's gonna come.
We are, yeah. We're expecting it. We're expecting it. I don't have anything. I did plant a couple of things yesterday. I planted like 5 pea seeds and
Well,
some
that's
sweet
good.
peas.
Yeah,
Some sweet peas, which apparently like a little bit of a frost.
I was gonna say they're usually pretty good
early,
with that. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently I could have planted them in October and had them come up this spring. So
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Over winter.
I'm near Nanaimo on Vancouver Island, Joe and Sue. Beautiful Vancouver Island. Like Hawaii.
I was going to
But
say,
not as warm.
The Hawaii of Canada.
pretty much.
Hawaii, Canada.
Yeah. So Joe and Sue would be about 5 hours from us.
Yeah, north.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
But
near North
we've
Bay.
actually got quite a few in the seed challenge that are, because would they be, are you zone 4? I'm not sure if I'm talking to Joe or Sue, but probably zone 4, I would have thought. We've got quite a few. We've got a couple zone 4s, a zone 3. So
we're going to actually.
Yeah, I wish we got a little bit more snow, actually, because it is really good nitrogen for your garden.
We're actually going to start bringing some in and melting it by the wood stove to water some of the indoor stuff.
Oh, good idea.
But it's not taking, it's just the time and the effort to go out and collect a bucket full of snow.
Well, we already are shoveling the paths anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figure it can't hurt. See if it does our kale in the basement any good.
So MB zone 7. We have way more than last year. Just got 2 foot more. Yeah. That probably came last week when we got about 8 inches last week, but zone 7B would be nice. I can handle zone 7B.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, Port Alberni's about an hour from where I'm at. Yep. Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, I'm always sad that I never made it to Vancouver Island when I lived out there. Like I lived in North Van. I never went to Vancouver Island.
Just why?
Oh, sorry.
Well, I was there for school, and I never went. It was one of those things. It just, when I was there, it never occurred to me, and then I moved back, and it was like, I should have really taken advantage and gone.
Yeah, Twasson's nice. But that's the problem with Vancouver Island, right? You have to take a boat to get here.
Exactly.
You cannot drive here. So
no, exactly. So it was kind of one of those, you had to plan it out, and then it never happened.
Flavors and textures. Just found out she's not in her zone.
But
That's not good.
Onion chick 6B.
That's something we always worry about with snow is doors, whether it's greenhouse door or barn doors or.
All of our stuff is raised off the ground, like
we
8
actually
inches.
built, and the gates that we're going to use in the wintertime, we build them higher so that you can actually still. If you build them right at ground level, it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, Whistler's real pretty too. They get a lot more snow than what we get over here, though.
I did make it to Whistler.
Whistler's pretty.
Yeah,
I've never been further west than Portage la Prairie in Manitoba.
Manitoba.
So that's a long way.
I've never been further east than Saskatchewan. Well, I have been down in the States, but not in Canada.
Okay.
There you go. It's a big country to get all the way across, really.
Yes.
It is a big country.
Yeah.
It's like driving west in Ontario takes forever. Like forever.
It's the stretch. It's the stretch from North Bay through Sudbury and around. That's the long stretch.
Isn't that like 2 days? Just to get out of Ontario?
Well, I'm originally from Manitoba, and we drove every summer from Manitoba out to where we live now to go to our cottage, and it was 28 hours straight through drive.
Yeah, not much fun.
Want to drive at night.
And there's parts you can't drive at night because of moose and everything else. But
Sure.
we usually cheated and drove
too. 8B.
Yeah.
I wonder what
variety
it is between 8B and 8A. Did you see how I just switched us?
Yeah, I was like, I gotta look at
there now.
It's kind of funny, and it's oddly because I'm looking at you when I'm talking, right? I don't look at the camera, so I was like, no, yeah.
Yeah, switch sides.
I just learned how to do that just by accident. So
that's not a bad idea with the putting down a tarp. Our only problem is we've got so many gates and stuff. We couldn't do it for them all.
What are we putting it on tarp for? Oh,
to keep the snow from.
Yeah. Well, I find we've got those rubber horse stall mats everywhere, and they work great because they heat up because they're black,
when you can
and you can scrape everything off them so easy. So that's kind of great at all the chicken run gates and everything else. And we've got them out in the garden in parts too, which works really, really nice. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Yes, Bettina, we lived in Manitoba and drove all the way out here for a cottage. But my family was originally from out here, like pre-me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just pull it out and fast cleaning. Yeah, Laura's busy. Family in Vernon.
mother.
Yeah.
Quick, switch the cameras again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because the whole split growing zone stuff, if you go back through, sometimes that's because they gradually keeps going north somewhat. Like ours is different than what it used to be slightly. But
yeah,
I don't know. Probably not even making sense. But that's the part where
B is still warmer than A, right?
Yeah, but only slightly, right? And then it's all kind of relative.
Yeah,
and you get weird little microclimates in there that allow you to do things that you're not supposed to be able to do because of the growing zone. And
yeah.
Well, it's like we're in a little pocket, and all around us is 8A, but we're in this little pocket at the bottom of the valley.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps us a little bit warmer than surrounding areas that are a little bit higher.
Well, in mountains,
we're like 9 feet or 12 feet or something above sea level here.
Okay.
Well,
I know elevation can make a huge difference with the.
Yeah.
You've traveled very little physical difference, but it can
make a big difference. Yeah, for sure. Especially on this little island because it just goes kind of up and the weather hits us from the other side and it kind of goes up over the mountains and bounces over us and drops into Vancouver.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we get a lot of really temperate weather when other places are just getting hammered just because of the way the mountains kind of protect us from everything coming from the west. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we don't have the luxury of. We just get lake effect. Which if the lake's open, that can mean a lot more snow.
Just having fun.
We lived in Oregon for several years. 10, I think. 10 years I lived in Oregon. 14, something. I moved there in 1999. The very last day of 1999, so 2000. And then we moved here in 2014, so 14 years, I guess, in Oregon.
That's cool.
Hi, Eric.
That makes me think.
I didn't grow things, though, so I didn't know what zone it was. How's it going, Eric?
It's always interesting. Everybody, we find this on YouTube when you're watching everybody in all the different zones.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Oh, that's funny.
That's a question for John. Will it grow there? Overwintering a pepper plant looks really good, but it's flowering. I think you should probably remove the flowers, but I don't know for sure.
I guess it
I
depends.
know, Emmy.
Is it a hot pepper or a sweet pepper? Because I would think with most hot peppers, it may not matter as much. They're usually more prolific, but to remove the flowers.
I don't know. We've never tried to overwinter.
Plant is, because can't you grow peppers and have them fruit indoors?
You can, because I mean they do that a lot in commercial greenhouses here. I don't know though. They may introduce pollinators into it to increase.
John says take them off.
Yeah, because then they wouldn't be putting the energy into the pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, into the roots, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know for us, though, it's like when we grow the little Aurora peppers, but they're a super dwarf. They don't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
But they could probably be grown as a house plant. They're only like, what, 6 inches tall?
Oh, yeah.
If that?
No, they're probably 8 inches, I guess. They're like a little decorative type. It's a Cubanelle pepper.
Getting clean on the prairie.
Hello.
Sorry, did I look that while you were reading it?
I was like, oh, there it goes. It's kind of like when you're focusing on something in the chat and then it jumps up like 3 rows.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I try to catch as many of them as I can and leave them up there while we can actually get a look at them. Well, I'm glad you stopped in, Eric. I hope you sleep well.
So interesting. I mean, this will be now. I would ask Chris this later on, but I mean, what would be the purpose? Like, what's the advantage to keeping a pepper plant over the winter rather than starting a new one? Are they that much more prolific the second year round?
I don't know. I've never done it.
We've never done it. But now we have a spot where we could actually bring them in. So I'd be curious as to what the advantage is to keeping it growing instead of
the second year.
Just planting new seeds.
Well, I know a lot of peppers. I know a lot of peppers in the right environment when you have the proper growing season. They are perennials, so
yeah,
they'd probably get pretty big. Some of them.
Let me see. I guess because they're a tree, right? A pepper, is it a tree kind of thing?
Well, definition of tree doesn't mean a lot botanically. They're yeah, tree doesn't.
They can keep fruiting several times after a break.
Okay, and that makes sense too. They'll fruit sooner. Okay, so if you kept a couple, you could hypothetically have peppers
earlier in the year
before
okay.
your main crop. That makes sense.
Well, I sense that this is going to be an experiment for this fall. Because that's one of the things that drives me crazy is waiting for the peppers.
Right? They take forever.
Oh, my tomatoes are always ready for canning, and I want to make salsa or whatever, and then I'm going and buying peppers because the peppers aren't ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's just not enough. Yeah. This year we did pretty good. We were organized and had them ready almost at the same time.
The Doe Hill peppers started producing peppers before the tomatoes started being ripe.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. That was nice.
But I didn't want to use all our Doe Hills for salsa.
We ate a lot of them.
Yeah, but all new peppers this year. Yay for the wait. So, MB, you've kept them overwintering? I'm very curious on it. I think it is going to be something that we try.
Yeah.
Just to see.
We should do a couple of the totally sweet Italian frying peppers.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that would be the nicest to have fruiting first.
Yeah. I have a pepper plant that is going on 4 years. Looks more like a mini tree. That's what I wondered if they would get. Like if you're keeping it inside, how big does that get? And if you're moving it in, you must have to have it in a pretty big pot.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be a fun experiment.
Add it to the list of experiments.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Michigan garden also a few. Huh.
have to figure out too when would be the best time to catch them.
Well, Bettina, we're never organized, so it's probably going to go about the same way.
Yeah.
It'll just be a last minute decision. We'll be like, bring it in, why not? And then it'll be.
It's going to frost tonight. Let's go dig one up and bring it in.
Yeah.
I might have some that stay in pots all summer, so I may bring 1 or 2 of those in.
MB's saying they got too big to move. Yeah, that's what I wondered. How long do you have before it's too big to?
Okay, well, Grow cuts it down every year. That makes sense because it would come back.
Yeah.
Because that's where I was going about the tree thing. They're not actually a tree, but then trees are divided amongst a bunch of different families because they're not really woody the same way. Mm-hmm. But they would grow into like a shrub.
I just started some peppers a little early, but it'll be nice. I'll be right back. Yeah, food's ready.
Yeah, that's the thing for us. Like, we are actually a little bit later. We started
the second week in February that we started them last year.
And we end up having to grow them inside for so long, and then
yeah. But that was partially because we didn't have gardens ready.
Also, but it was weather too, though, because we held off getting them out until we were kind of free of any sort of risk of frost.
Can have a garden under current restrictions. How many snowmen you can have under current restrictions? No clue. Ours is so cold you can't make a snowman. It's just powder.
We've got the wrong kind of snow for snowmen.
Yeah.
Or so.
Okay, Melrose peppers.
Oh, neat. Those could be interesting to try. We did this the Tollies, sweet Italian.
They're probably loosely similar.
Yeah.
But it's neat. It's amazing how many different kinds of peppers there are, especially given, because we were researching this today, given how far you sort of have to keep peppers from each other to keep them pure, how many different varieties have developed. It's quite astonishing.
I want to write hers down because I'm going to look at her channel once we're done. I'm on StreamYard, so I can't look at it right now.
The YouTube notebook.
Yeah, my YouTube channels to look at because I don't think I've seen Vineyard Chicks before, so I'm going to have a look. See if you have it. I don't know if you have a channel with content or not, but I'm going to have a look because I'm curious on the peppers and such.
Kind of like bonsai then.
Oh, okay. You cut the roots too. Okay, yeah.
Wow.
Well, it doesn't. Yeah, we're gonna have to look into this because we've never thought about it, but then we've never really had a spot to put them, and now we do.
Bettina, like the saving the ginger and whatnot. That's us usually, or just throwing more blankets on it and going, we'll get it tomorrow, and you hope for the best.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, we've had a few.
You pick the one you want to make sure you get the most.
Yeah, or you run short. You're like 2 blankets short for covering everything, and you're like, "What's sacrificable?"
That's why our cabbages are still out there.
Yeah, our cabbages are still out there under plastic. So we'll see what they're like come spring.
We'll have to go back and find flavors and textures video on the peppers too. Add to the list.
Add to the list. That's the great thing about the YouTube and following different people and that, though, is like you learn different things. Like you get almost sort of stuck in your rut of how you do something, and then you see somebody else with a great idea, and it's fantastic because it just kind of makes you go, maybe we should try that. Mm-hmm. Sue says, keep the snowmen 6 feet apart for sure.
I'm surprised somebody hasn't done that and posted it somewhere.
All right, guys. Well, dinner is ready.
Yeah, we heard the beeper.
So that's almost perfect timing, I would say.
Yes, excellent timing.
In just about an hour. So next week, guys, same time on their channel.
Yep. And yeah, exactly. So if anybody's watching this, the replay later on and has any questions, bring them up next week for the seed swap stuff. Mm-hmm. But hopefully everybody's kind of getting organized and getting them ready to be shipped. I know we are madly packing and getting things going. We're
Hopefully we'll have
80% ready, so we just got a few more things to tidy up with it. So
yeah,
perfect.
Fabulous. All right, guys. Thanks so much for coming.
All right.
Every single one of you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
Everybody.
you. Have a fantastic evening, and we will talk to you next week.
I will see you all soon. Take care.